Hey guys, AC here. Today is a special episode. Not only am I doing a exclusive review of a niche fragrance called Milano Caffe, I'm also fulfilling a long-standing dream. I'm introducing a new house to the Fracom. Being a new reviewer, this is quite a privilege. The name of the house is La Via del Profumo. It's based in Italy, and the main perfumer for this particular house goes by the name of Abdesalam Attar. His original name was Dominic Durbana. He was born in France. Now he's based in Italy. Extremely humble person. I've spoken to him. He was kind enough to speak to me at length about many purchases I've made. I think he's one of those guys who are known as genius. And I'm not saying that. One of the most revered, respected reviewers in the community is Luca Turin. Here is what the gentleman looks like. So Luca Turin is basically a biophysicist of world fame. Yeah, he's worked in MIT. He's developed what he call an electronic nose. Here is the concept. He currently is based in the University of Ulm. He's worked on vibration theory of olfaction, which is a major research, and he has been writing myriad blogs. He's written many books, one of which I own. It's a terrific book called The Science of Scent. One of the best reads I've had in perfumery, and what Luca Turin has to say about Dominic Durbana. Here is his picture. Is that he is pure genius. Give him any ingredients and he will create an olfactive journey for you. This scent here, this is what it looks like, guys. Nothing for presentation. It's a plastic bottle with some calligraphy. Nothing for presentation, but the fragrance is just amazing. So I've got many fragrances from this house which I'll be reviewing, but I chose this one because this is a spectacular fragrance. So let's start with the spray. The atomizer is nothing less than amazing. I mean, this is like a huge spray, yeah, but you hardly use anything. I mean, this, if I tell you this is like 6 or 7 wears, yeah, you will not believe me, but trust me guys, this is like a Guerlain, expensive Guerlain atomizer. Now, the bottle size is 15.5 ml. So let me give you the 3 bottle sizes that this comes in. I'm just checking their website. 15.5 ml, 33 ml and 50 ml. The 15.5 ml costs you 38 euros. I've got it from Italy, and I think I didn't have to pay any extra taxes, so I'm assuming the export duties and taxes are paid for. So this 15.5 ml, 38 pounds. The cap is just, you know, arduous to open, but apart from the packaging, everything about this fragrance is just top notch. So let's start. What do I get? The top of the fragrance is just mind-bogglingly beautiful, guys. What you get up front is one of the most invigorating and fragrant notes of coffee. Just beautiful coffee, yeah? Which is soon joined by a note of chocolate and huge burst of spiciness, you know. So imagine that you're storing your coffee in a cabinet which has got tons of spices, and I get this chili flake smell which is just unmistakable. So it's such an interesting opening that it'll absolutely knock you sideways. Such an opening, you know. I have smelled many fragrances with coffee, you know. Bond number 9 New Harlem is a very good coffee smell, but this is nothing like that. This is completely on a different plane. It's dark, it's dry, it's earthy, it's very interesting, almost like natural coffee would smell, you know. Another thing about La Via del Profumo, every single one of their fragrance is natural. Every single one barring one, which I will review. They are all natural fragrances, no aroma chemicals, which is again a fantastic feat. What an achievement, guys. The moment you smell it, you just You can make out by the way I'm speaking. I'm normally a very calm person, but this thing has taken me to a different hemisphere. Absolutely stunning opening, guys. There's a slight hint of lemoniness in it. So I'm assuming that lemoniness and that spiciness is coming from, let's say, some sort of herb like coriander. Coriander has this quality which has got this chili flake lemony smell. That coriander note is not listed in the note pyramid that I went and got from Fragrantica. So if I'm putting a note in bold, that means I think that that particular note is existing in the fragrance. Yeah, it's not listed. The fragrance takes about 20 minutes to get to the heart. When it gets to the heart, the coffee element goes slightly muted, slightly. The chocolate gets amped up. The dustiness stays, and then you are joined in by this really nice, gummy, chewy sort of a note. And I'm imagining that that note is licorice. Licorice is playing, and it becomes more greeny. This is very dry and arid. In the first 5 minutes, very dry, arid, solid, full-on coffee and chocolate and spices. It becomes a bit more earthy, a bit more damp, and I suspect there's a huge dose of patchouli which is not listed again. So in the middle, you're getting this amazing mix of dry, earthy, manly, and slightly damp, concoction, which is absolutely treat to your olfactive senses. This fragrance is top notch. Okay, so this takes about 1.5 hours to get to the base. I've got about a 4-hour dry down. This is bitter, okay? Seriously bitter and dry. What you get in the dry down is this rounded feel, that rounded feel of the fragrance, and slight sweet and slightly warm feel of the fragrance. That is coming from, what they've done is they've used amber to give it that warmth. It's not sweet at all, but just a hint of sweetness. I think the hint of vanilla. They've also used myrrh, which is one of my absolute favorite notes, but there is no medicinal myrrh here. It's just slight sparkly sweetness of myrrh. The chocolate is more pronounced, and I think that chocolate is not coming from a chocolate note, it's coming from patchouli. Patchouli, the green patchouli notes that you saw, that you smelt in the beginning and in the heart, where it gets pronounced and damp, that now has become a bit more chocolatey, deep, darkish, dry, and very manly, dry down, beautiful. So you're getting chocolate, which is slightly sweet, rounded, yeah, it's a wholesome, no rough edges, earthy. There's a slight hint of vetiver. I'm getting a slight hint of vetiver. A beautiful manly fragrance, I've never smelled anything as nice as this which involves coffee. I've smelled a lot of fragrances, a lot of mainstream fragrances use coffee, but nothing like this, guys. Beautiful creation. So let's go to the next round. Next round is pros and cons, yeah? So the pros, this is an artistic fragrance. The biggest accolade I can give to this fragrance is the art. You feel as if you're sitting in the corner of a dusty cafe in a city like Milan, where they like to have their coffee with milk. The slight milkiness, slight chocolatiness is there. Yeah, it's an artistic fragrance, beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Okay, next, it's a manly fragrance, definitely. It's very manly, It's nothing unisex about this one. And good performance. So let's talk about performance, guys. I'm getting at least 9 to 10 hours of longevity. Yeah, easy. Projection, I would say, is about half a foot, maybe a foot for the first 30 minutes, and then recedes closer. It becomes a skin scent about 3.5, 4 hours later. But sillage is, say, moderate. Yeah, if you keep it under your shirt, you'll get a nice sillage. You'll smell this whenever you move your hands, and it's a beautiful manly scent. Very, very nice. There's another pro to it. It's a very versatile scent. I have tried it. I got this in March this year. As I said, about 6 to 7 wears. I've tried it. I've worn it in office. It was late spring, April. I've tried it for the last 3 days or 4 days. I've worn this to office. I've also worn it to a felicitation ceremony where I was wearing a tuxedo and it was in the evening. So I think this is a very versatile fragrance. Also because of how it dries down to this beautiful warm chocolate, dry, earthy, woody kind of a smell. It can be a beautiful date scent, you know. So that's why I'm calling it a very versatile fragrance. Artistic, versatile. Cons. I think it's hard to get. I'm leaving a link down anyways in the description. It's hard to get, so it can be a con. And it smells unusual. If you expect a coffee-based fragrance which is mainstream, you will be shocked. And it's also a very manly, spicy fragrance, so it's unusual fragrance. But does it make it a bad fragrance? Not at all. It's a fantastic fragrance. Very, very interesting fragrance. One of the best I've tried this year. So overall, you know, I've covered all aspects. I would like to give it an 8 out of 10. The only reason I'm removing 2 points is because it's unusual and it's hard to get. Hopefully you liked the review. If you did, do give it a like. See you again. AC signing off.